is a whole new machine, and the reason it's different, number one, and the biggest thing is confidence. They have a lot of confidence that they're better than they were. Hey, it played the last time. The worst thing that could happen happened. They got beat. And so now they have another chance. They've got Chandler, who's playing very well. Jamal Anderson is running the football extremely well. They believe they're in good shape.
And, of course, a big throng rooting for the Falcons here. But you know that the 49ers, who get Steve Young back at quarterback, one thing they want to do more than anything else, take the crowd out of the game, jump on the Falcons early as they did in Week 3.
I think that's a major factor in today's game, is how this game starts. If the 49ers jump out fast and get up early, then it could get ugly. But I believe the way things are going right now for the Atlanta Falcons, that they are much better. San Francisco needs to have a big game from Steve Young.
Pam Oliver is on the field with 49ers head coach Steve Mariucci. Pam?
Thanks a lot, Dick. Okay, Steve, at stake, first place in the division. What concerns you going into a game like this?
Well, it's important for us, Pam, to get started fast. We haven't been able to do that in the last couple of games. We did that against Atlanta earlier this season, but that's going to be the key to the game, for us to get started fast like we can and control this crowd a little bit.
Secondary a little banged up. You concerned there?
A little banged up, and we're going to start R.W. McQuarters, our young rookie, and he'll do a good job. And Marquez Pope will be playing sparingly in our nickel and dime package.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Appreciate it. Let's go back upstairs to Dick.
Well, it won't be long for the kickoff upcoming. The 49ers and the Falcons from Atlanta in just a... Ready to go here at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Crowd on its feet. The Atlanta Falcons will get the ball first. 49ers have dominated in the series, including capturing the last 5 games. Wade Ritchie will kick off for the 49ers. And back deep for the Falcons, rookie Elijah Williams, number 21. And a newcomer, number 82, is Ronnie Harris, who was signed this week after being waived by the Seattle Seahawks. And he's got a world of speed. And this showdown game is underway, and the kick goes deep into the end zone where it's down. It'll be a touchback, and the Falcons will begin from the 20-yard line. Chris Chandler starting at quarterback, and has a tremendous amount of respect by his head coach, Dan Reeves. An impressive record in his last 16 starts. The offensive line, Whitfield, Collins, Tobeck, Williams, and rookie Ephraim Salam, the right tackle. Jamal Anderson, the number 3 rusher in the NFL, having a sensational year. Tony Martin and Terrence Mathis, 2 outstanding wide receivers. And a prolific offense that can put points on the board. Starting out with 3 wide receivers, and now tight end moves out as a 4th wideout. And a play action, plenty of time, and the pass tipped away. It was intended for Santiago, the tight end, and Merton Hanks defending on the play. The 49ers defense, and the strength this year has been Brian Young and Junior Bryant on the inside. Chris Dolman has a bunch of sacks. Woodall, Winfred Tubbs, and Ken Norton Jr. also having a big year at the linebacking spot. The rookie R.W. McQuarters from Oklahoma State making his NFL starting debut.
As McQuarters out there all by himself, I would think that the 49ers are going to have to give him some help. They're not going to leave him on an island all alone.
He's got Tony Martin to contend with on 2nd and 10. And the handoff is to Jamal Anderson, and nothing there. And you know the 49ers will be keying on Anderson.
Well, the guy who's going to dominate that hole inside is Bryant Young, 97, and Junior Bryant. Now, the last time these 2 teams played, and this is what Howie Long was talking about in the pregame show, was that Junior Bryant and Bryant Young completely dominated the inside 3 of Atlanta. And if Atlanta is going to take that next step, they talk about confidence and all that stuff, it really comes down to how far the inside 3, Williams, Collins, and Tobeck, have come.
3rd down and 13. Falcons have been successful on 3rd down conversions this year. But it's 3rd and long with 3 wide receivers for Chandler. He has protection, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Tony Martin and defended on the play nicely by the 49ers' Darnell Walker.
Darnell Walker made a great play because Martin should have made that catch. And it's in the NFL, those are catches that have to be made. And this is a catch that really picks up your whole team. You make this catch in this play, you've got yourself some confidence and a little bit of things going. On the other hand, Walker knocks it down and gives the momentum to the other side.
Dan Straczynski will punt and will check the hang time. Anything over 4 seconds is a good kick. And this is a good kick. R.W. McQuarters giving ground. And he's down inside the 30-yard line by Craig Sauer. But Straczynski with a mammoth kick of 48 yards. So the 49ers getting the ball for the first time, and the return of Steve Young. Strained abdominal muscle, not quite 100%. And he has Chris Dahlman back at center. And that's the healthiest this offensive line has been in quite a while. Garrison Hurst, the running back. He's from Georgia. Rice, J.J. Stokes, the wide receivers. And we'll see a lot of Terrell Owens as well. 49ers starting from the 28, and Young putting it in the air, and the fullback Mark Edwards on the receiving end, and he gets a first down before he's knocked out of bounds after a gain of 13 by William White, the strong safety. Falcons defensively, and they've been a surprise, a pleasant surprise, especially the defensive line. All of them have played well. The linebacking core with the veteran Cornelius Bennett, Jesse Tuggle, a Pro Bowler, and Henri Crockett. Ray Buchanan, the key man at cornerback in the secondary. And Eugene Robinson, the former Packer, at free safety. On first down, here is Garrison Hurst, who dives forward to the 47-yard line. William White again on the stop, and the Niners in good field position.
Good field position and a healthy Steve Young, or relatively. You know, in this league, after the first day, everything's downhill. Steve Young didn't play last week. He's a little banged up. I would expect today, with that ab pull or whatever it is, they get rid of the ball fast. It's imperative that the Falcons get some hits on him early.
2nd and 5, and the pitch to Hurst, and he is tackled from behind, and it's Travis Hall. And I know you're impressed with what Hall has done earlier this year before he hurt his knee.
What I'm impressed with is he has a great first step. You're gonna watch him right up top. See how he explodes into Gogan? He does a nice job of getting to the top shoulder fast. He's not 100%. When he was on, he's as good a defensive tackle as I've seen this year.
3rd down and 5. All 3 wide receivers line up to the left, including Terrell Owens, number 81. Penalty marker down. No play. Our referee today, Larry Nemmers. And it'll be against the 49ers.
Prior to the snap, full start offense, number 63.
That's Derek Geese, the left tackle, who was switched from right tackle when Kirk Strafford came back.
Derek Geese really can play all over the place. He's really a guard playing tackle. He had him right tackle, now back to left tackle. He can play them all. The interesting thing is Dahlman, the center, 67, you see right there. He's back. They didn't expect him to be back for a while. They're going to be as close to having a full offensive line next week with Dave Fiore coming back as they've been all season.
So it's 3rd down and 10 on the 49ers 41. And Young with 4 wide receivers to choose from. Throws incomplete. Jerry Rice was his target. It'll be 4th down, and the Niners will kick it away.
Yeah, he wanted to get to Jerry Rice, but Fuller, 29, did the perfect thing. Watch this right here. Watch the hands. Stay on them. Be physical. You can't let them come clean. And then to the outside, Ray Buchanan, same thing. Get your hands on them and don't let them get quick separation. Break the timing, and you got a chance.
Reggie Roby. And he's been with a multitude of teams in the NFL. Will be kicking, and Ronnie Harris back deep for the Falcons. Good kick by Roby, and a fair catch called for by Harris, who was just signed this week at the 17-yard line. Each team has had the ball once. Each team has kicked it away. We'll be right back.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
You know, there's such thing on the field as friendly fire. Watch Cornelius Bennett talk to Steve Young. He's saying something to him, and Young says, yeah, that's pretty nice. Hey, hold on a second. Did he just say what I think he said?
A smile faded in a hurry.
Yeah, he's looking at him like, hey, you can't say that to me.
He just did. Falcons from the 17-yard line. Their second possession of the first quarter. Jamal Anderson, and he's not going to get anything. Junior Bryant, who's filling in, taking over actually for Dana Stubblefield this year, and more than holding his own, and a 1-yard gain for Anderson.
Now, I want you to watch what they're doing with this tight end in the backfield. They have the tight end all the way to the backfield right here. See, they're trying to get him here so their safety will declare. Now, once they see where he declares, they motion back the other side, and then they run away from the strength. Now, the problem is they can do that easy, but they can't block inside Junior Bryant.
2nd and 9. Middle screen to Jamal Anderson, and he carries it out to the 26, short of the first down by about 1.5 yards, and that will bring up 3rd down. Chris Dolman making the tackle.
They're going to make sure they take care of R.W. McQuarters, the rookie corner outside. I want you to watch how they're going to do it. Here's Merton Hanks. He's going to sneak from the inside and give McQuarters help over the top. Now, that allows him to be physical, gain some confidence, and know you have stuff in the backside.
3rd down and 1 on the 26. Tight end Santiago in motion. The pitch to Jamal Anderson. He'll get the first down for the Falcons, and knocked out of bounds by Ken Norton Jr. And Atlanta getting out of trouble there, picking up 6 yards.
You know, this amazes me about Dan Reeves. Dan Reeves is not too proud to steal whatever he can from anybody. They played the New York Jets a few weeks ago. This is a page right out of their book. And what this is intended to do is to make that cornerback come up and tackle. See, this is called a little bit of bunch. And what that does is it makes your corner have to come up and be the man to tackle Jamal Anderson. Smart football.
And it worked against the Falcons when they played the Jets. First down, Jamal Anderson having a tremendous year and getting a lot of notoriety for a player who's been around several years.
Yeah, I'd like to show you this. This is what a defensive lineman would look at when he's down in his stance. And all you can see is from the waist down. So you look in the backfield, you see number 32 as a running back. And then you get in your stance and you look up, and really all you see is like a guard in the backfield. This is what's coming right at you. Look from here. Look from the waist down. He is so thick from the hips down that when you're in your stance, you got to think they got an extra lineman back there.
And it takes a few tacklers to bring him down, as we saw against New England a week ago. 2nd down and 6. And a fake handoff, play action.
Got it.
And there going deep is Tony Martin. And the ball is nearly intercepted, but knocked away nicely by Darnell Walker, a former Falcon who played 4 years here in Atlanta, and he timed that perfectly.
He's playing as good as any defensive back on their team. You heard me say in the middle of the play, he's got it. The reason I said that was because Tony Martin had the step and nobody inside. Now, Walker does a nice job, but the difference in the play, it's a poor throw from the quarterback. Because had that ball been thrown out here, it's a big completion. He hung it up, and Walker's able to come back and knock it down. Yeah, he knew it. He knew it was him. He had to throw it to the middle of the field goal. The safety was gone.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 6 from the Falcon 36. 2 penalty flags, 3 are down. Count them. And again, Larry Nemmers making the call.
Encroachment, defense, number 97.
That's Brian Young.
Still 3rd down.
He tried to beat the count and couldn't, so a 5-yard penalty will now bring up 3rd down and 1. So that is it's a big one. Critical penalty against the Niners.
Dick, so much of playing defensive line is anticipation. And you try to get into the quarterback's rhythm. Both these quarterbacks do an excellent job of changing up their snap count, so it's really tough to get them.
49ers have the most penalty yards in the NFL coming in. 3rd and 1. McQuarters trying to shadow Terrence Mathis. It'll be a running play. Jamal Anderson up the middle, first down to the 45. And Jamal Anderson leading a terrific rushing attack, which has opened up the passing game for the Falcons so well.
It's important that they get Jamal Anderson going. Not only for Jamal Anderson and their team in the passing game, but for this offensive line. And Jamal Anderson, 235, 5'11", thick from the waist down, runs through tackles, catches the ball well. But when you get him going inside, that gives your offensive line confidence that they can do even more for you.
Gained 123 yards and scored a touchdown against San Francisco on the road. On first down, here is Anderson again. Very tough to bring down with the powerful legs, as Matt pointed out, and picks up about 3.
What I really like about the great players, the players who are special, it's not their physical abilities, because to be honest with you, everybody in this league has something that sets them apart. Really, it's from here, right there. See this? It's from the neck up. He believes he's the best. He has a fire in him that he wants to punish you, that he wants to make it personal. And that's what makes him good.
He's been around great athletes in his time. 2nd and 7. This is the 8th play of the drive. And Chandler's pass caught by his tight end, Santiago. And a first down to the Niners' 40-yard line. O.J. Santiago, who caught 2 touchdown passes in New England last week.
O.J. Santiago, if you graphed him, his graph would be like this, and it's just going to go up. Because he's just learning how to play. He's kind of a babe in the sport. He's got a big body, runs pretty well, but he's learning the whole passing game. Dan Reeves was telling us just the other day what a great hard worker he is and how he pays attention to detail.
First down for the Falcons in 49er territory. And here is the Jamal Anderson, slips by one defender, and a fumble on the 39-yard line.
That's going the other way.
The 49ers have recovered. And the first turnover of the game, Jamal Anderson.
And he's limping a little bit coming off the field.
He needs some help, and it looks like Chris Dolman recovered the fumble. And it was knocked out by Ken Norton Jr. and recovered by Dolman. San Francisco ball when we return.
Times you get on a roll. Chris Dolman, who's been having all kinds of sacks this year and being around the ball at the right time. That time just got blocked out of the play. It's just kind of flopping around, and then here comes the ball. He falls on it, and then they say, what a great game.
You have years like that.
Absolutely. And sometimes, you know, you have to have experience to be in the right place.
Falcons were a +8 in the turnover ratio, tied with Buffalo for the league lead. But they coughed it up there, and now the Niners responding. Jerry Rice breaks a tackle and gets into Falcon territory. Michael Booker ultimately makes the stop and a gain of 15 yards. Young to Rice.
Young to Rice, and this is on the eyes and arm of Steve Young, because see what he sees? He sees that Tuggle is giving him some room, and the corners are off, and you're playing a zone. And if you play that zone, Rice and Young are on the same page, and the ball comes out quick, and you got a first down. It's like stealing.
Rice had his best game of the year by far in their first meeting. Caught 8 passes for over 160 yards. Young getting time, falls down.
Oh, that Falcon, see that bird? They got a 12th man out there.
That's the dirty bird.
They just winged it. Yeah, that's right. That's the dirty bird right there. He just winged Steve Young. It's a dirty bird, all right. They played that coverage the way I believe you have to play San Francisco. You have to get up there and jam them, disrupt the timing. And when you don't, Young and Rice and the timing of that offense will eat it alive. It really helps when you have an extra guy in the field like that Falcon.
Second down and 14. Back close to midfield for the 49ers. And a running play, and it's not going anywhere. Garrison Hurst loses a couple on the play. That was Keith Brooking. And right now, here's James Brown for an NFL update. JB?
Dick and Matt, Terry Collins off on the good foot in Saints territory. Take a look. He hooks up 5 of 7 for 62 yards on this drive, including his first touchdown pass. That to Cam Cleveland. Saints now up 14-0. Good things happening right now for Knowledge. Back to Dick and Matt.
Answering a lot of critics there in the first quarter, Matt.
You know, he answered them before. The key for Kerry Collins is going to be how consistent he can play at that level.
Third down and 17. And we're going to have a stoppage of the clock, and the Falcons call a timeout. First time out of the game with nearly 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Still no score.
The timeout is simple. You have 2 guys back here. You have 6 in here. That makes 8. 5 up front. That gives you the baker's dozen of 13. And you can't play in this league with 13 without getting caught.
Or 12 for that matter.
It's been tried.
After the Falcons timeout, the 49ers face a 3rd down and 17. Back to their own 49. Pressure put on Young, and the pass intended for J.J. Stokes, and covered well by Michael Booker downfield. 4th down, and the Falcons defense holds for the 2nd time.
And playing it smart. That's Rich Brooks, the former head coach of the St. Louis Rams, and now the defensive coordinator of the Falcons. And there he is right there, and you're going to see him in that position all game long. And that's him when he's happy, and that's him when he's sad. Guy never changes.
Doesn't change at all, and that was a key stop for the Falcons because they had lost the ball on a fumble. 49ers couldn't take advantage. Now Reggie Roby with a kick and a fair catch called by Ronnie Harris at the 16. Roby does his job, and the Falcons will start inside their own 20 when we return.
Here's the guy who made the tackle. I had to stay in that position so they could carve me. Yeah, I took a long time.
That's a difficult thing to do.
Stayed like that for about 3 weeks. I had a little bit of cramp in my toe. Other than that, I was doing pretty good.
It's just like you. They know it's not you. First down for the Falcons on the 16. They have not had good field position yet today. Jamal Anderson, who fumbled the last time he carried the ball, picks up about 4.
Dick, you know, there's all kinds of parts of the game. I want you to watch this special teams. Lance Schulter's down here and Tyrone Leggett up here, and they're going against the Falcons. Now you can't let the bullets down. You can't let them down the field. They're your first guys and have your free shot, and instead they just get abused into the sideline. One guy into the sideline, another guy right in the middle of the field. That's Joe DeCamillis, their special teams coach, and that's a good job of coaching. The old rule was if you ever got him into the sideline, he was never allowed to come out. That was a Raider rule.
DeCamillis is Dan Reeves' son-in-law, was with him in New York as well. 2nd down and 6. And the handoff is to Jamal Anderson. Look at that power, and he gets close to the first down. Shy by about a yard. And he's got the blocking up front of Bob Christian, and he's relied on him this
Bob
week.
Christian and Jamal Anderson are on the same page. And I want you to watch number 44 and Anderson. They're both together in the backfield. They do an excellent job of reading each other. Jamal Anderson says that he reads Bob Christian and trusts his eyes like they were his own. Bob Christian a few years ago to me was just a guy, but the last year right here he's really blossomed and turned into a pretty good fullback.
Third down and 1, passing formation, and the ball off the hands of Santiago. He should have made that catch. He had beaten Ken Norton. It would have been a first down. Instead, punting situation.
But a nice job by Norton to know the rules and know you can get a hit within 5 yards. There's a little confusion between Lee Woodall and Ken Norton, but Norton comes in late but does a perfect job. You get your head on him and you bang him, and even if he has to turn, he has to make a quick adjustment on the ball.
Ken Norton Jr. having a terrific year, and Santiago, as Dan Reeves told us, is yet to scratch the surface. He'll be a good one at tight end. Dan Straczynski with an impressive first punt. This one not as long, but it's high, and a fair catch called for by the Niners. It takes an Atlanta bounce, and it's still going. And the Falcons will finally down it inside the 49er 30. Chris Chandler frustrated so far. Still no score between the two NFC West leaders. In the NFC West, the 49ers have lost at Buffalo and at Green Bay, and the Falcons losers against the 49ers in San Francisco and the New York Jets in the game that Chris Chandler missed. He was out with injury, and 44-year-old Steve DeBerg took over at quarterback.
It wasn't a pretty sight.
Bill Parcells blitzed him from the opening minute on. First down for the 49ers on the 29-yard line. Garrison Hurst trying to cut outside and inside, and he picks up about 3. Well, tonight after a new World's Funniest, Homer's Gone Hippie on a far-out new Simpsons, and then make a date at the drive-in on a brand-new That 70s Show. Plus, it's the second all-new X-Files episode of the season. It all starts tonight at 7, 6 Central, right here on Fox.
All right.
It's your next Files characters. Holy, we might be in our next episode.
Or this episode. 2nd down and 7. Quick pass, and it's caught by Rice. And he is tackled by Michael Booker, and that'll be a first down for the 49ers at their 41.
That's Steve Young. He sees things really well. He and Rice, you can tell they've been doing it for a long time. And I'm going to say something Jerry Rice isn't going to like. And I love the guy. I mean, I've played with him. I think the world of him. I think he plays as hard as ever, but he's not the same Jerry Rice. He's not as quick. He's not as fast. But he still is just as effective and maybe just as good.
And you have to watch him as much, if not more, than anyone else. Here's Garrison Hurst driving forward to the 45-yard line. Shane Dronette making the tackle on the play. Rice, by the way, you saw the numbers on the graphic. All told, 28 touchdowns against Atlanta. That is the highest touchdown total of any single player against another team in NFL history.
I think what I was just alluding to earlier was he doesn't have the same physical attributes, but he makes up with it in his brain. That read between he and Young was perfect.
2nd down and 6, and the give is to Hurst. And once again, the Falcons stopping the run. Eugene Robinson coming in from the secondary, but it was Cornelius Bennett who first got there.
Cornelius Bennett is playing as good as I've seen him in the last 4 years. And he's with the kind of player he is. I think the last couple years now, personally, he wasn't playing well enough. Even at some point, you may even have considered releasing him. That's how poor he was playing. Right now, he's reinvented himself. He's running to the football like he's as good as he's ever done.
He's got to enjoy this after those glory years at Buffalo. 3rd down and 6. Young.
Oh, nice
pass,
pick.
and it's dropped. That's a pick. Dropping it was J.J. Stokes.
And it's J.J. Stokes and Terrell Owens, and they run a perfect pick. Watch him on the outside. Here he comes. Now he's going to just try not to get in the way. He's trying to run his defender Fuller into Michael Booker. And the ball was right there. It should have been caught. Kevin Gogan is reacting for Steve Young. That was perfectly designed.
4th down, and Reggie Roby will kick. And Ronnie Harris in back deep. A good kick by Roby, and this one, however, will go into the end zone as time runs out. That is the end of the 1st quarter. Surprisingly, no score between the 49ers and the Falcons. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. As we start the 2nd quarter, and the NFC West has been a San Francisco 49er domination since 1980. The 49ers have won 13 division titles. The Falcons only one. That was back in 1980, and the Panthers a couple of years ago. But this has been a San Francisco division all the way.
You know, more important than that was those other ones. Those other teams won their divisions. The team they had to fight was San Francisco.
1st down at the 20-yard line as we start the 2nd quarter. Incomplete. Tony Martin was the intended receiver.
Dick, I'd like to go back to the start of the game when Pam Oliver was talking to Steve Mariucci, and Coach Mariucci said that they had to get off to a fast start, that he believed that was going to be the key to the game. And he wanted a fast start because they've been kind of up and down. They've not been consistent. And the longer this game stays close, the advantage falls to Atlanta.
The history has shown that the 49ers have jumped up on this team. 2nd and 10.
And they got Winfred Tubbs jumping inside.
That's would be the 2nd and
Oh,
penalty, unless it's a false start against the Falcons.
Yeah, they're going to go over to Atlanta. Now they put that rule in that if a defender jumps inside and he makes you jump off sides, that goes against the defense. Winfred Tubbs came on a blitz to the weak side.
False start, offense. Number 88, 5-yard penalty.
That's the tight end,
Still 2nd down.
O.J. Santiago. So that'll send Dan Reeves' Falcons deeper into their own territory at the 15-yard line.
There's Santiago outside. He jumps inside.
Little flinch.
Yeah, he saw him coming, and he moved just a little too fast.
Falcons have had terrible field position since this game has started. Back up to the 15 on first down. And now Chris Goldman trying to get to Chris Chandler, and
It's unabated.
as opposed to abated.
Baited. Just baited.
Offside, defense unabated to the quarterback.
Is that an
5-yard
NFL?
penalty.
It's
Still
only
second
used
down.
in the NFL.
I think that's an NFL word.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Because I remember on my SAT test, unabated was not there. But after I came into the league, he understood how he got it. One side was unabated, the other side was just baited. B-A-I-T-E-D.
Right. Miller back where they started. Back to the 20-yard line, 2nd and 10. No score. Chris Chandler with a soft pass underneath to Bob Christian, but the 49ers are there. A minimal gain will bring 3rd and long coming up for the Atlanta Falcons. They started from the 20, then the 17, the 16, and then the 20. So they haven't had a good field position yet.
Now the one position that they feel pretty comfortable with is Bob Whitfield, number 70, working against Chris Dolman. A few years ago, Bob Whitfield was playing as good in the passing game as any tackle in the league, but it seemingly wasn't complete because of that run and shoot offense.
Todd Kinchin, number 89, 3rd wide receiver in the game for the Falcons. 3rd down and 6. And confusion, and that'll force the Falcons to call a timeout. So that is the 2nd timeout by Atlanta. We're early in the 2nd. Falcons forced to call their 2nd timeout, now 3rd and 6 on the 24. They've had some opportunities, man.
And in a game like this, you can't waste those opportunities. When you have a chance, especially that big play down the middle that Chandler missed through, you got to make those plays.
And this time it looked like Calvin Collins, the left guard, may be guilty of a false start as he got confused by the hard count.
False start, offense. Number 68, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Want to remind you the 2nd half of our Fox doubleheader. And this too with first place at stake. The Cowboys with a 1-game lead over the Arizona Cardinals. They'll play at Tempe. Cardinals with a chance to tie for first place. But it's a series in which the Cowboys have dominated. Like the story here, they're sold out in Arizona for the first time in about 3 years. And they have some close battles in the recent past. Coming up next.
Cardinals are the Falcons of their division.
Right. 3rd and 11. Pressure put on and a sack. Ryan Young came in almost uncovered and gets Chris Chandler for the sack and a loss of 6 yards.
Now you heard Howie Long talking about it in the pregame show. You've got to get number 97 blocked. That's an excellent job by Junior Bryant. See, Junior Bryant makes that play. He makes the play on the stunt just by grabbing Calvin Collins' shoulder and bringing it down. And that allows Bryant Young to get to the edge. Once he's to the edge, it's a sack.
So Dan Straczynski will be kicking from the goal line, and R.W. McQuarters is back deep. Once again, the 49ers could be looking at ideal field position. McQuarters is hit immediately at the 45 by Elijah Williams. 46-yard punt that time. 49ers ball. We'll be back in a moment.
Get Junior Bryant to take care of 2 guys right there. See, he gets inside and he's going to allow him to come around the corner, and it's because Junior Bryant takes that move and forces the guard to stay with him that Bryant Young can make the sack.
7.5 sacks for Bryant Young on the year. 49ers on their 45-yard line. Hand off to Garrison Hurst and a couple of yards. And Matt, the point that you made moments ago that the 49ers didn't come out quickly. Still, if they were to strike fast and get a couple of scores, it would be the same as if they did early on, and that could still take the crowd out.
Oh, well, actually, look right now, the crowd is nothing. The crowd is just sitting there. Actually, this crowd is sitting there on their hands, waiting for something good to happen. They're looking for a reason to cheer. They came here in a little disbelief, and they want to have something to believe in.
2nd down and 6. Steve Young with a screen pass intended for Hurst, and that could have been dangerous. Cornelius Bennett got there just about the same time the ball did.
That's excellent defense by Michael Booker, Ray Buchanan, and Cornelius Bennett. See, Steve Young is only going to make that throw underneath if there's nothing down the field to throw to. And so that speaks to the discipline of your scheme in the back. As long as you stay back and take away the deep, he'll throw it underneath, then you break on the football. There's the quarterback of that defense. See, nothing happens unless Eugene Robinson doesn't get it out.
He got it out there. 3rd down and 6. And the crowd comes alive as Steve Young's pass caught by Jerry Rice. He gets away, and that'll be a 1st down despite the tackle that was made by Lester Archambault. Rice broke 1 and got the 1st down at the Falcon 43-yard line.
Have all this coverage. Now watch what Steve Young is looking at. See, he looks to his left. He's trying to draw coverage, but he knows they're on the same page. And this is the same page he's on with. And that's Jerry Rice working underneath. Rice knows he has Devin Bush up high, knows where the yard marker is, just comes back and bing, the ball's right there.
2 tight ends for the 49ers on 1st down, and Garrison Hurst goes nowhere, and that was Shane Dronette who wouldn't let Hurst get away.
This Falcon defensive line is completely different. There's their defensive line coach, Bill Kolar. Tim Green speaks very highly of him. In fact, everybody associated with the Falcons speaks very highly of him. And when you watch his defensive line, it's easy to see why. They play hard. They all run to the football. They don't have, other than Travis Hall when he's healthy, a real dominator, but they play very well together as a unit.
And Bill Kolar has helped him in the mental game as well as the physical game. 2nd and 10, and the play fake. Steve Young's got a lot of time. Does he have a receiver? And very nearly intercepted that time. And that time it was Antonio Edwards who this year scored a defensive touchdown for the Falcons against the Giants.
So you say, how the heck does Antonio Edwards, how does he get back there? Simple. They came with what's called the zone blitz. And see, they brought the linebackers inside, and nice job outside by Ray Buchanan. See, watch, they're going to bring these guys here. He's going to take a step to draw the block and then get out of there. Young comes down, and a good deep discipline and patience in the backfield. And Cornelius Bennett got his hand on it.
3rd down and 10 at the 43. Young giving ground. Screen pass. Hurst, and Hooking is going to get him.
The only way to cover a screen is to jump your coverage right away.
The number 1 draft pick from right here in Atlanta at Georgia Tech, and he's got his fans already. Makes a big tackle, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the things I've seen in this league with screens, I don't think there are a lot of good screen running teams, and I think it's a product because of the 3-step drop and the ball getting out so quick. Defensive linemen now are conditioned 1, 2, 3, go. And when you feel a guy letting you come, that's a sure sign that there's something up, and it's usually the screen.
Falcons hold on 3rd down, and Reggie Roby lifts a high punt. The fair catch called for by Harris. It'll sail into the end zone and the touchback. So it's been a defensive game. Surprisingly, most people thought we would have a slew of points by right now. No score here in the 2nd quarter. The 49ers and Falcons, the 3rd and 4th highest scoring teams in the NFL. And Atlanta going back on offense, starting from the 20-yard line. They have not had better field position than that. And this youngster is keeping track of field position, I think. Huh?
That guy there.
Or something like that.
You just want to give him a big fat smooch. I love those little kids.
There's the Falcon team picture. Yep. Well, the kids are out in force today. 1st down, Atlanta on their 20. Chandler handing off to Jamal Anderson. Anderson with his best run of the day picks up nearly 9 before Tim McDonald, the strong safety, brings him down.
A nice job by Calvin Collins and then also Gene Williams pulling around. And it's just a good job of this offensive line of getting on people. I think Art Shell is their offensive line coach. I think he's done a nice job of just selling assignments. And they're very assignment driven right now. As long as you get a guy on a body, Jamal Anderson will push that crease and he'll pick something up.
There is Art Shell.
One of the, obviously a Hall of Famer, one of the great linemen ever played this game.
2nd down and 2, and again Jamal Anderson. He hits the wall and close to the 1st down. Surprising that the Falcons haven't tested McQuarters yet.
They are staying patient. And They're not going to play outside of themselves. And that's good news for R.W. McQuarters.
First down, Atlanta.
See, the longer he plays, the more confidence he gets. Say, I can play with these guys. You know, as a young player, you walk out in the field and you think to yourself, I know I can do this, I do it in practice. But the game's completely different. And the longer you get acclimated and stay out there, you start to feel, hey, I belong. And when confidence kicks in, you automatically get better.
There's the play selection on first down for the Falcons. And it's been the running play, as we see here. So 7 rushes in 9 first down plays, starting from the 30. And Anderson stopped by Woodall and a pickup of 4.
It's interesting. We spoke so much about Junior Bryant and Bryant Young inside and how they're the most dominant, and how they have to take care of that. And the biggest step that this Falcon team will take is how their inside 3 respond. And Dan Reeves is running right at the middle of that defense.
2nd and 6. On a design rollout, a fake screen pass, and Chandler takes off. And every time he runs with it, Falcons hold their breath because he has been injury prone in the past. He'll get the first down here. And a gain of 14 yards.
They hold their breath because he's a knucklehead. Because you're going to see times that he won't go down. Last week against the Patriots, he saw what was coming. Heck, he put his shoulder down to try to run through him. Looked like a little face mask right at the end right there on Brenston Buckner. Not much of anything, just kind of let that one slide as he's sliding.
Dan Reeves let Chris Chandler know he didn't appreciate too much of a running show. First down on the 47. Chandler drills it, caught by Martin, and close to the first down to the 49ers 43-yard line.
Dick, that's not going to happen unless this offensive line gives him time to throw. A nice job inside by Robbie Tobeck, and a good job on Dolman. They make sure they're going to double team Bryant Young, and then because of that time, you can work on the rookie. And that's a nice job, Tony Martin, just kind of playing with him. Get a little push. All you need is a little separation, and if you have time, Chandler's going to find you.
That's a first down, and the first catch of the game by Martin. Falcons trying to break the scoreless tie. The pitch goes to Jamal Anderson with Christian blocking, but coming up from the secondary, the rookie McQuarters.
That's what he does.
Making a fine play.
Yeah, he's a strong kid, and they're going to try to get that corner, the corners, to make the tackle. They're going to test him not only throwing the football, but also how tough he is at the run. And I think what they're going to find out is that this kid's pretty tough in the running game. I tell you what, he's slapped together pretty good. Got some pretty, I got to work him on his triceps a little bit, but he's put together pretty well.
Taking Marquez Pope's place. Pope, bothered with a bad back, had to come out in the 4th quarter the last 2 weeks, but he could play today. 2nd and 9. Chandler with a pump fake and a throw, and the receiver didn't take off, and a flag is down. Mathis covered by Darnell Walker, and a penalty marker thrown at about where the receiver was.
I think it was a double move right at about the 15-yard line. And was Walker working outside on Mathis. They go with the play action strong. Chandler, there's the first, see, there's the pump, and that's when he breaks up. Right here is where the pump came.
Illegal
and right
contact.
there is your contact.
Number 38 of the defensive team. Holding. Number 68.
We have offsetting penalties. One penalty called against Darnell Walker,
And the other one on Calvin Collins, the offensive guard, holding.
Holding on Collins. Illegal use of the hands on Walker.
Watch him down inside, working on Junior Bryant. It wasn't so much a hold as it was a pretty good tackle. That should show up on the tackle sheet at the end of the game.
Offsetting penalties. It is 2nd and 9 still at the 42 of San Francisco. Chandler's throw, it's an out pattern, and it's good first down to Tony Martin. And Martin beat the Walker to the outside, so the Falcons going after the best secondary player for the Niners.
They're just playing outside with this cushion back here. See, they're going to go play action to this side, and then he pushes the cushion. And the key to Walker outside is how fast he can recover off that push. Tony Martin is trying to get to close that as fast as he can and then come back off of it. If he sees he's giving him 7, heck, he'll take it. He got their easy catch.
Jamal Anderson goes to the sideline for a breather. Oxendine replaces
This
him.
is bad. You know, that's a waste of a timeout right there.
That is
the 5.5 mark.
Third and final timeout of the first half.
Meet Chris Worth, animator. Knows good, knows evil. Knows that having a formidable partner is definitely good. Chevy S10, like a rock.
Dome, Dick Stockton along with Matt Millen. Surprisingly, no score with under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Falcons have just used their 3rd timeout. Each team has had several opportunities. 1 turnover in the game, and that's a fumble by Anderson of the Falcons, but the 49ers couldn't capitalize. But now the Falcons have a first down on the 49er 30. 8th play of the drive. Ken Oxendine, number 33, a rookie, in at running back. And the pitch to Oxendine, and Oxendine picking up about 3 yards on the play. Tackle made by Burton Hanks. Now Jamal Anderson coming back into the game, and again, look at the strong lower body that Anderson carries.
Got a little jiggler. I'm going to have to get on him about that. That's a powerful man. Now he will run through an arm tackle.
Where's number 32 in deference to his hero, Jim Brown. 2nd down and 6. Here's a delay to Anderson, and he gets inside the 20. It'll be a Falcon first down, and they've done it mostly with runs by Anderson and passes to Tony Martin on this drive.
Yeah, no jiggle on that play, just pure power. I want you to watch how he drives his legs, and then the patience of Jamal Anderson. You run with your eyes, and then your legs come. Watch, he just drives right through. He's going to run through an arm tackle and really a shoulder tackle. If you don't wrap and bring your whole body, he's going to own you.
Falcons with the edge in ball control, and why not? They lead the NFL in time of possession. First down at the 19, and the flag is down. Jamal Anderson on the handoff. Picks up about 1.5 yards.
This looks like Dan Reeves when he was with the Giants. Just pounding the football, staying patient, knowing that his defense is playing well.
Offside. Defense. Number 46. Lined up in the neutral zone.
That's the 3rd
5-yard
time that
penalty.
the 49ers have been called for a defensive offside or encroachment in this first half.
And that was Tim McDonald. He said 46 lined up in the neutral zone. When you start talking about a safety being up there, that means they're giving him an 8-man front, and they're still running at it.
That'll bring up 1st and 5 on the 49ers 14. Atlanta already in solid field goal range. Jamal Anderson up the middle and dives to about the 10-yard line. Short of the first down by about 1 yard. Ken Norton Jr. making the tackle, and this is a textbook exhibition of ball control by the Falcons.
Well, he learned this from all the years he was around all the great boxers. This is a Mike Tyson body punch. That's what they're doing. They're just going inside and they're pounding. They're walking up that safety. You have a guy who's unaccounted for. So you're just running right at the inside, really the strength of this defense. Bryant Young and Junior Bryant, and he just tattooed him inside.
Jamal Anderson's father, a security guard for many of the great fighters, including Mike Tyson. 2nd down and 1, and here is Anderson trying to go outside, cutting inside and scoring.
All right, told you you have to bring your whole body if you're going to tackle Anderson. It was one-on-one with Merton Hanks, and that's a mismatch. And he just powered right through him. Got through the first level into the second level, and that's a bad sight. If you're going to be a secondary man and you're one-on-one with Jamal Anderson, it's get out of my way.
Morton Anderson is on to add the extra point for the Falcons. And already a far cry from the first game between these teams when the 49ers led 31-7 in the second quarter. Now it's Dan Reeves' Falcons who have taken a 7-0 lead and strike the first blow. And for Jamal Anderson, that is his 10th touchdown of the year, second to Terrell Davis of Denver, and a chance to do the Dirty Bird.
I think this is part boxing. I don't know what the heck that thing is. I know what that is. That's having fun because you just scored. And then at the end, you just do that little bit of Dirty Bird thing, whatever that is.
And there is James, who got the ball as Jamal Anderson gave his father, his mother Zenobia the ball, and their proud parents here to watch their son today.
And they're looking up on the big screen right now because he's dancing, and she's dancing with him. Now you can hear, remember we were talking about this crowd, and they were waiting for something good to happen, and now they've got it. And I think what they're seeing in this first half, that this Falcon team's going to be around. They're not going to fade.
Morton Anderson will kick off. Steve Young getting ready to go back to work. A line drive kick. And Chuck Levy fields it on the 1-yard line. And down he goes. And it's the linebacker, Craig Sauer. And this is becoming infectious throughout the entire Falcon team, Matt.
That's when football is fun. This is what this is all about. That's what makes football such a great game, because you can grab the emotion and pull it right into your huddle.
And once again, Matt, the 49ers find themselves in a familiar position, trailing 4 times this year. They have faced first half deficits, and those have been the results. And of course, last week and the week before, they trailed by 16-0, lost to the Packers, but rallied to beat Carolina last Sunday. First down, San Francisco on the 19. Steve Young has some time, and Jerry Rice makes the catch, and Buchanan, with some help, brings him down. It is shy by about 2.5 yards. Tuggle also involved in the play.
They're going with the hurry-up offense. This is a nice time for Ray Buchanan. He's getting matched up with right now with Jerry Rice.
That's a good matchup.
That's a nice matchup.
2:20 remaining in the first half. Hurst, nothing there. And we're going to get down to the 2-minute warning as Garrison Hurst is tackled by Travis Hall. And this crowd not taken out of the game by any measure in the first half by the 49ers. And we'll wind down to the 2-minute mark here in the first half. It's the Falcons who lead the 49ers 7-0. A halftime report. JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have scores and highlights from around the league, and our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
I think it's time they start getting the ball into the hands of Terrell Owens.
Third down and 1. 2 tight ends for San Francisco. Hurst goes in motion, and Steve Young can't find a receiver. And finally, a pass underneath, and it's ruled a catch and a first down to the 35. It was Jerry Rice with a gain of 7. He hung on. A hurry-up offense. 49ers have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Steve Young gets out of trouble and flips it out of the backfield to Rice. And Rice still going with it into Falcon territory to the 45, and a pickup of 20 yards. And now the 49ers will use one of their 3 remaining timeouts.
That was completely on Steve Young. It was his feet that made the play. He's driving, now he pumps, and as he came to the line of scrimmage, he forced William White, 35, to make a decision. Do I stay back on Rice, or do I force? And it's right in between. See, it's right there. And once he gets William White to come up, he just dumps it off, and then Jerry Rice does the rest.
And a big half for Jerry Rice as well, who had a sensational first game against the Falcons back in September. Already Rice with 6 receptions for 69 yards. And you have to play with a guy for a long time to be able to make that work.
Yeah, they're on the same page, and their brains are in unison. And they see the same things. Their eyes are seeing the same things. You can't coach that. You either have that after years of experience or you don't. 41-28.
First down for the 49ers on the Falcon 45. Atlanta showing blitz, and here they come, and the flag is down. No play. Falcons have not shown blitz much in this game. They used it effectively last week against the Patriots, and this will go against San Fran.
False start. Offense, number 81. 5
And
yards.
it's the wide receiver, Terrell Owens. Well, what a difference, a contrast between week 3 and this game. 31 points first half for the 49ers. Shutout thus far today. Vast difference in the total yardage and the first downs as well. First down and 15 back at midfield. Young, Rice, and he's got it. And he's 5 yards short of the first down as the clock stops with 1:27 remaining. That was a 10-yard pickup.
There are those who would argue that Terrell Owens is the best receiver on the 49ers. Very quiet first half. And the other side of that tandem has been Jerry Rice, who's just been on fire in his first half. Ray Buchanan's just giving a cushion, playing that zone, and then coming up and making the tackle. But Rice will take what you give him.
Terry Kirby, the running back, split wide to the right on 2nd and 5. And Young going up the middle. He's got Terrell Owens. And Owens finally making the reception and a first down to the 22-yard line. Not good for 19 yards. And Devin Bush, the nickel safety, making the play. And the 49ers continuing to run up and set it up in a hurry. Still with 2 timeouts remaining for San Francisco. Young doesn't see anyone, takes off, and will go out of bounds. And he may have picked up another first down. Young rushed for 50 yards in the first game between these teams.
Steve Young will do. He sees the coverage. He knows they're locked up in man. That means nobody's looking at him. So you just take off, know where the first down marker is, and he can still scoop.
And it is a 49er first down as they threaten to tie this game under a minute to go.
He's mad right there. He's not getting the play in. And hey, look, you're not going to give it to me. I'll call it myself. Greg Knapp, who's Marty Morningweg, is up in the box, and he's talking to Steve Mariucci, and then it goes to Greg Knapp, and Knapp has to send it in.
Takes a long time.
It does. And that's one of those things where there's Marty Morningweg right here. John Marshall down here, their defensive coordinator.
49ers have called a timeout, so they have 1 remaining. They are in field goal range, but they are looking beyond that. They're looking for a game-tying touchdown with 55 seconds on the clock. But an impressive drive by the 49ers after the Falcons went 80 yards in 11 plays to take the lead on Jamal Anderson's 10-yard run. Steve Young perfect on this drive. It'll be 1st and 10.
One thing that Young has not done is he's not really pushed the ball down the field. It's all been underneath stuff.
His best throw is that way was to Terrell Owens right on the go. Ball is at the 11-yard line. Quick toss. Incomplete. It was intended for Rice, and he broke in a different route from what Young had expected.
Well, it looked like they were going to try to run a fade to that corner, but Ray Buchanan jumped the coverage right away. Got his hands on him, and then Rice came back inside. Sometimes you can be on the same page for all those years. Sometimes it just don't matter.
Still messes up. There you see the 2 tight ends, Greg Clark and Irv Smith, come into the game on 2nd and 10. 9th play of the drive coming up for the 49ers. Looking to throw again with protection. The pass, and it's tipped, intended for Clark. He had beaten the defender, but the throw wasn't there. Henry Crockett, the linebacker, defending, and that will bring up 3rd and 10.
The one guy they weren't going to let get that pass is going to be Jerry Rice back inside. Buchanan's over the top. William White's on the inside. He's not going to score. And then Clark's to the outside on Henry Crockett. And only because Lester Archambault, number 92, got some pressure down inside, and then also the defensive tackle to that side got pressure to that ball come off.
This is a big first half play coming up. 3rd and 10. Pressure, and Young fires it away, and the pass incomplete. Jerry Rice.
That's a flag. You held him.
Have control, but a penalty marker down at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that's going to be a flag on Ray Buchanan because he held him. You could see right at the line of scrimmage, Buchanan tried to get the good jam.
And they have changed it. It is against the Falcons. First, Larry Nevers indicated San Francisco and changed the call.
Yeah, I watched right from the start. And there's right there. See the hand? Right there. That's what they're going to call. And it's a good call. And an excellent job of fighting at the end by Buchanan, but a great job of Jerry Rice to fight that jam off and come open. That's a good call. Watch the fighting at the end. This is finishing the play.
It is a first down, 1st and goal at the 6. And the clock shows 38 seconds remaining in the first half. The 49ers still with 1 timeout left.
All Atlanta has to do is force the field goal. If they don't give up 6, they win this right here.
Play fake. Young flips it, incomplete. He was going for Clark again, and looked like Young wasn't sure whether he was going to run it or make the toss.
Well, Henry Crockett was right in between. Remember earlier when he had William White and Jerry Rice, and he waited for White to force to him, and then he dumped it. Henry Crockett stayed right in between. And because he waited back there, Steve Young couldn't be definitive. Had to be right in between. See, I tried to get him to commit with the little pump, but he didn't do it. And then just by holding, number 94, see him right down the bottom of your screen. Just by him holding down there, he enabled him to have to throw that thing out of there. Now, Clark's not real pleased because he thinks he had 6.
2nd down and goal, and the handoff by Garrison Hurst, and the Falcons were there, led by Shane Dronette. Big play by the Falcons, and they have done a terrific job up front.
That was a big play, Dick. Shane Dronette just overpowered inside and made that tackle.
And a timeout. 49ers using their final timeout of this first half with 29 seconds remaining. It'll be 3rd and goal coming up.
I'm very surprised at one thing. Watch Shane Dronette working inside, number 75. See right here. They tried to trap him, and Gogan couldn't get over there in time because Travis Hall blew up the field. But this Falcon defensive line is playing much better than I thought they would against the offensive line of the 49ers. And the way they're doing it isn't with any great talent, it's with great hustle. And that's a great coaching point to remember. Any of you playing out there in Little League, high school, college, no matter what, it doesn't take talent to hustle. Just keep on going as hard as you can.
You may be able to draw on that in your career.
Oh, absolutely. And that's anybody. Anybody at any level. You're automatically better when you push yourself.
12th play of the drive for the 49ers. 3rd down and goal at the 6. 2 tight ends for Steve Young. And Young to throw, drills it, and it's dropped by Jerry Rice. He was open and dropped the touchdown pass.
Should have been 6. He smelled Eugene Robinson because he knows he was going to get a snootful, but not before the ball was on him. Buchanan playing off. They just slant him back inside. Should have been 6. Shouldn't even have been close.
When was the last time you've ever seen Jerry Rice drop a touchdown pass like that? So Wade Ritchie has come on for the field goal attempt. And this kick of 24 yards is good, but you'd have to say the Falcons win that one by holding the 49ers not letting them score a touchdown. And the score now, Atlanta 7 and San Francisco 3. Wade Ritchie with a 24-yard field goal after all of that.
They ran Jerry Rice on that quick slant. I think, you know, 49ers don't run a lot of patterns. They just run them from all different kinds of formations, and they make you have to adjust to them. And he knew it right away. You just see, he knocked his mouthpiece right out of his face. Hit him in the kisser, and that thing went right out. But I think he's more disgusted with the fact that he gave up 4 points. You had the 3 for sure. There was 4 waiting there for you.
And you know he's steaming over it on the sideline. He's had a good first half, but the only thing that will be remembered will be his drop touchdown pass. So the scoring drive, 75 yards and 13 plays. Rice caught 4 passes but dropped 1, and Wade Ritchie giving the 49ers their first points of the game.
I still believe whenever you have Rice down there, you have to get a guy on his face to jam him. And you take a chance of him beating you with the fade to the top, but I think you take that chance.
Wade Ritchie, who just kicked the field goal for the 49ers, kicking off. And the kick is very deep and out of the end zone. So 19 seconds on the clock when the Falcons will start from the 20-yard line. I want to remind you again, the Visa halftime report coming up. Bring you up to date on all the scores and highlights. JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris in our Los Angeles studio. Well, there's Bill Kolar, the defensive line coach, exhorting his team, and they have played well. The defensive line has been a standout for the Falcons in the first half, as they have not allowed a touchdown against the 49ers.
The offensive line of that San Francisco team was, they're going to do anything in the second half. They're going to have to pick their performance up a little bit, because I think Atlanta took it to them.
So that is going to do it for the first half. That is the end of the first half with the score. The Falcons 7, the 49ers 3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue. The Visa halftime report coming up after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
Atlanta's defense doing a nice job.
You bet. Doing an excellent job. Right off the bat, heard Howie Long talk about Young earlier. Bryant Young, there he is for the sack. But time of possession, who is the #1 team in the league in time of possession? The Atlanta Falcons. Jamal Anderson, he takes it in for a touchdown at 7-3. Two teams right here that are leading the league in big plays, but right now, a very close game. Jerry Rice, by the way, dropped the touchdown pass.
Guys get tired awfully quickly in that 2-minute offense. Thank you very much from the pregame show. But it also, as a wide receiver, gives you a lot of plain vanilla type of defenses back there in which you can take advantage as a quarterback and wide receiver.
And as Matt Millen pointed out, that last defensive stand to hold them to 3, and sure, it was a tough pass to catch. Jerry Rice drops the ball, gets hit. They blew the opportunity in the first game to blow Jerry Rice up in the first 2 plays of the game. Caught 2 big passes, 1 for a touchdown. Different story this game, but as Terry pointed out, time of possession a big key. This will frustrate San Francisco's offense. Don't be surprised if Steve Young tries to take it upon himself to win the game himself, as he did in the first game.
Don't forget, Jerry Rice dropped the touchdown pass that could have tied the football game. Another reason that they're going to the no huddle is to keep the substitutions off the field. That way they have a missed point.
You're the man.
Hey, when you run the internet and study all week long, which is all I have time to do, you come up with insight like that. It's good stuff.
Pittsburgh. All right, folks.
Commanding 1-point lead.
We want to pass along our condolences to Mike Ditka, who lost his father on Friday of this week. Mike Ditka, we certainly send you the very best to you and your family. And the Visa halftime will continue right after this.
Let's go down to the field, check in with Pam Oliver.
All right, Dick, I talked to both coaches at the half. First of all, Dan Reeves did not look like a coach whose team is in the lead. He says he wants to see the offense move the ball more effectively. He said there were just too many 3-and-outs. Steve Mariucci echoed that sentiment. He's pleased that the 49ers were able to put together a drive toward the end of the second quarter, but he wants to see more of the same for this half. Back to you.
All right, Pam, thank you very much. And a quick glance at the halftime statistics. And the Falcons leading the rushing derby. No surprise with Jamal Anderson.
I think to echo what Pam said in speaking to the coaches is that both defenses are playing well. I mean, you can see the numbers are not that impressive. In the first half, both these defenses played extremely well, and Jamal Anderson had the upper hand right there with his parents with the ball, the touchdown he scored.
49ers will go on offense first. Morton Anderson will kick off for the Falcons. Chuck Levy back deep for the 49ers. Falcons undefeated at home here at the Georgia Dome, despite the fact that this has not been a packed house. In fact, 2 weeks ago against St. Louis, they had less than half of capacity, some 38,000 fans. But their first sellout in more than 3 years today. Morton Anderson puts his leg to it, about 6 yards in the end zone, and the 49ers will take it out to the 20. Well, the two featured running backs, two of the better ones in the NFL, Garrison Hurst and Jamal Anderson, and so far it's one-sided.
And that also speaks the way they got this to the offensive line of the Atlanta Falcons, because a vast majority of those 60 yards rushing came inside at the strength of the 49er defense, and really at probably the part of the offensive line that had to pick their game up.
49ers starting from the 20. Steve Young, 10 of 19 in the first half for 109 yards. Trying to put it up, but Chuck Smith will get him from behind, and the second sack of the game for the Falcons.
Yeah, just did what Chuck Smith does best, and that's speed. You watch him down to the outside, gets his hands on him, and then just run through the corner. Derek Deese didn't get his feet set to the outside, and once Chucky Smith gets to your corner, he's got great closing speed.
Yeah, I had to say the Chucky, didn't he?
Couldn't get it out of there. Got to get this hungry work.
2nd and 12. At least you shaved off the goatee.
Yeah.
Pass incomplete, intended for Rice, and covered well on the out pattern by Ray Buchanan.
Ray Buchanan's had good coverage on Jerry Rice all day. Now, it's been tight coverage. He's been battling them, but Rice had a bunch of yards in the first half. Save that one drop. He had an outstanding first half.
You saw Terry Kirby, number 41, check in. He's their third down back, and the other wide receivers, J.J. Stokes, Terrell Owens in there as well. Rice comes out to the right. Those are his numbers thus far. 3rd and 12 coming up. Steve Young going up top, and the pass is caught by Mark Harris, who has become the 4th wide receiver with Ihani Owezike no longer there, and Steve Young gets up ailing. He's limping after the 41-yard completion.
Yeah, but not before he knows where to go in that coverage. He knows that he has it singled up right there, and they come with a blitz. And he steps in the pocket very nicely before he's hit on the backside, I believe by Lester Archambault. Oh, he's hopping out.
And Ty Detmer, who engineered the comeback victory after a horrid first half against Carolina when he threw 3 interceptions. Detmer is in there, and now they're working on Steve Young. So Detmer takes over at quarterback. First down on the Falcon 40. And there's Garrison Hurst. Tried to break the tackle and could not of Andre Crockett. Pick up a 4 yards.
Young was well protected, just stepped inside, and Lester Archambault just drove right through Kirk Scrappert. He get up and he held that left knee right away. And that's what they're checking on the sideline right now.
2nd and 6, and it looks like Young getting set to come back in. Here's Hurst. Garrison Hurst cutting to the outside. And by far, Hurst's best run of the day, and that is a gain of 20 yards and a first down for the 49ers at the 16 of Atlanta. Total on the tackle.
This is the kind of start they were looking for at the beginning of the game. It's a nice job, Garrison Hurst, seeing that crack and jumping through. Greg Clark got himself a nice block on the front side to open that up, and then you think that doesn't make Steve Young happy. It makes him feel so good he wants to go back in.
And he's back in. Steve Young is back in at quarterback. First down and 10 on the 16 of the Falcons. Young trying to run up the middle and is dragged down, and it was Travis Hall who got an arm, and a gain that time of only 1 for Young.
He's looking down the field, and there was no place to throw that football. It was good coverage in the secondary. The primary target in today's game, really, for for Steve Young, has been Jerry Rice, and your eyes aren't deceiving you. That's Cornelius Bennett running with him the whole way.
And then you look underneath, and it was open, but he was looking down the field for a play.
2nd and 9. Inside handoff to Kirby, and nothing there. Well, you mentioned Cornelius Bennett. Ray Buchanan told us that Bennett runs as fast as many of the defensive backs on this team, if not faster.
He always could. He always had great wheels. Could always run. And when a guy like that, if he doesn't develop the other parts of his game, when he loses his legs, he's ineffective. But he's been able to kind of pick his game up. He was never really good in zone coverage. You drop him and he is kind of lost in space. But when you put him on a man, because of that great speed, he was pretty good.
So here's a 3rd down play coming up for the 49ers. And a big rush put on, incomplete. And you can credit the defensive line for the Falcons with Chuck Smith putting the pass rush on along with Cornelius Bennett that set up the 4th down and made Steve Young rush the throw.
Yeah, and also on the other side of that was Ray Buchanan on his coverage of Jerry Rice.
So the field goal team is in, and Wade Ritchie, who kicked a 24-yard field goal at the end of the first half, this time a 28-yard attempt. And Ritchie's kick is good. So here was the coverage on Rice by Buchanan that Matt talked about that made that play possible. But the 49ers get a field goal, and it's 7-6.
All right, captains, we're going to have a coin toss now. If there's any team, we'll call it in the air. We want a good, clean game. We're all professionals here. Does anyone have change for $1?
Want to get away? Now you can until April.
Mark Harris set it up. Ritchie with a kick deep into the end zone, and the Falcons will settle for the 20-yard line as Ronnie Harris receives it. On Tuesday, 9 angry men decide the fate of one mower on an all-new King of the Hill, and then a world record bee eater will amaze you when Chris Collinsworth hosts an all-new Guinness. It all starts at 8, 7 Central on Fox Tuesday. Chris Chandler, 5 of 10 for 47 yards. Hasn't gone deep thus far, and it's been more of a ball control effort offensively for Atlanta.
Yes, it has. They had opportunities. It didn't connect.
Starting from the 20-yard line. Here's Jamal Anderson. Nothing there. Anderson gaining 59 yards on 16 carries. The key play in that last drive by the 49ers was the 41-yard pass to Mark Harris.
Just a nice job of Steve Young. Found Elijah Williams matched up outside, and a perfect throw. He just got to the top side. There was no help. They were in a blitz. They were in man. Harris was able to come clean and make the big play.
He's now the 4th receiver with Ihani Awezike waived this week and picked up by the Miami Dolphins. Curtis Buckley, fine special teams player by the Niners, also waived, now with the Giants. Second down and 9. Pass underneath off the hands of Tony Martin, and he was wide open.
The second one. He had a chance for a play earlier. Clapping your hands don't get it done. Nice job of the offensive line of picking up the blitz. They walk their safety. Look right here. They're walking up. They're giving you an 8-man front. So now they have 3 guys back here. That means there's 8 up here. And they come with the zone blitz. Coming inside, they do a nice job. They're going to drop off their backer and their end. Everybody's picked up. Barker gets the hit, but it should have been a catch.
3rd down and 9. Todd Kinchin, number 89, 3rd wide receiver. Chandler in trouble. Sack, and that'll be Roy Barker. That is the 2nd time the 49ers have gotten to Chandler today.
That was one of those meet me at the quarterbacks. He didn't even have a chance for coverage down the field. He didn't have a chance to get rid of it. Barker collapsing at one side. Bryant Young collapsing the inside.
And this crowd has gone up and down dramatically, and now they're quiet because the 49ers getting the Falcons on 3 and out will get the ball again. Dan Struzinski will be kicking. R.W. McQuarters not far from midfield to receive it. There's the hang time and another good kick. Nearly 5 seconds. It was 5 seconds. And a great tackle. Bob Christian would not let R.W. McQuarters go anywhere. 43-yard kick. Great coverage. We'll be back to the Georgia Dome in just a moment. The 49ers have climbed to within 1, and now they have good field position on their 40.
They've had really the better of the field position all game long. This is a series for both these teams to establish if the first half was a fluke or not.
First down, Garrison Hurst going outside. Tuggle gives chase, but not before Hurst gets the first down and goes out of bounds.
That's a nice job by Kirk Strafford on that right offensive tackle. It allows him to get to the corner. See, it doesn't happen until Hurst sells it to the inside. He'll sell here and then out there. Comes in and then bang to the outside. Now Strafford just stays with it. And then Hurst just uses his speed to get to the corner. Jesse Tuggle will take that angle, but he's too fast for the angle.
Falcons have backups up front. John Burrows, Sean Sueda, and Antonio Edwards on their defensive line as that time Buchanan upends Garrison Hurst. No gain on the play, so the Falcons are giving their starting defensive front four a rest here with the exception of Shane Dronette.
Yeah, but what they do is they just keep them going sideways. Ray Buchanan comes up and makes that tackle, and it happens because everybody inside does their job, and they force to spill it outside. And then anytime a corner makes a tackle, they feel good about themselves. Because if you really boiled it down, they're not real thrilled with doing it. They'd rather cover.
Ray Buchanan, a personality on this defensive team. 2nd and 10. There's a fake, and Young has the pass batted at the line by Shane Dronette, and incomplete. And getting up is Antonio Edwards. He thought he almost had it. And of course, he already has a defensive touchdown this year for the Falcons.
Dick, I think Shane Dronette is one of those players who you don't really know much about. He plays real hard. I mean, not a great player. He's a good, solid player. But he plays at a high level, and it makes him better. I think that whole defensive line has been that way, and they fit that kind of mold.
Now the Falcons having problems getting their right people on the field. Brooking trying to get on, had to come off. 3rd and 10. And Young's pass. And it's incomplete. And Credit Booker was doing the job. Flag down on J.J. Stokes. But there is a penalty flag down. 2 of them, in fact, upfield.
3 you got. Take your pick. 1 on either side and 1 in the middle. It looked like a 3 deep coverage of those flags.
And a conference of 5 officials.
It's 5 under 3 deep.
The defense had 12 men in the field. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
And that's why the Falcons had problems. Brooking was coming on, but they already had too many men on the field, and they might have had the baker's dozen again, huh?
They were looking for it. They thought, heck, if we can't get 13, we'll try to go with 12. And there's the guy right down there. He's got to get off before this snap. He's taking his good old time. That shouldn't have happened.
Remember, the Falcons had to use all 3 of their timeouts in the first half early. 3rd and 5. Young going back, going deep for Jerry Rice, and Rice makes the catch. Flag is down, and another one, and now a 3rd flag goes down, and Rice is tackled on the 8-yard line by Ray Buchanan. That'll be 35 yards if it goes against Atlanta.
Perfect throw. He didn't have great separation. The coverage was there.
They're going to bring it back. Maybe.
Looks like it. You got guys jumping around for Atlanta. Henry Crockett's happy. Cornelius Finn is pumping up the crowd on the other side.
Steve Young doesn't appreciate what he's about to hear.
Yeah, like it or not, once that official says what it is, it's over. Kevin Gogan, I'm just watching him. He's hilarious. And somebody took their helmet off down there. They better be careful. That's William White. Took his helmet off.
And an official took his hat off, but that's okay.
Unless you got no hair, then you better throw it back on.
I won't touch that.
Kevin Gogan walked over to Ray Buchanan, Eugene Robinson, and just kind of bumped into him, and then they just started talking back and forth. Ray Buchanan had great coverage. There's Gogan. Took his helmet off, too.
This is a long conference. You know, there's right around the 15-yard line, we have 3 flags, the football, and a hat.
We have 2 fouls on the play. We have offensive pass interference on number 80, and we have defensive pass interference on number 34. The foul's offset.
Offsetting penalties. They called it on both of them.
Well, it's at the line of scrimmage. It's been a battle all day. I don't see anything yet. I don't see anything yet. There's a little bit of a push, but it's pathetic. And I didn't see it from Ray Buchanan. I think they waited so long. They said, you know what, guys, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just call it and let them play it again. I didn't see anything.
Well, a 35-yard completion nullified on the offsetting penalties. So, again, it'll be 3rd down and 5.
I thought that was a good play. I thought it was a good coverage,
good.
Great catch, nice throw.
That was a 2-minute delay while they sorted it out. Three wide receivers line up to the left.
Oh, boy.
Steve Young may have lost the ball, and now he's down. Travis Hall back in the game, gets the sack, and it's 4th down. And the Falcons, you pointed it out, a very big series, do a good job of stopping the 49ers.
They did a great job of collapsing the pocket, and I believe it's Shane Dronette. They go with the double. He just goes with power. That's a tremendous job by Dronette. And he's the guy right there, him. He's the guy who should get the credit. Travis Hall gets the sack, but Dronette made the play.
So the Falcons hold in what was a big series for both teams, as you pointed out. And Reggie Roby lifts another high kick. Ronnie Harris, fair catch at the 15-yard line. Again, pressure on Steve Young, and the 3rd sack of the game by the Atlanta Falcons. Will be rightly so. Both high-scoring teams held to 7-6 right now. The Falcons leading with 7:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. They've got the ball at the 15-yard line. Atlanta has never started beyond their own 20-yard line in 8 possessions in this game. They're on the 15 as they begin here.
Steve Young got pressure. Shane Dronette made a great play inside. And then the other half of that was Young couldn't get rid of the ball fast because the coverage of the Falcons was right there. They jumped it fast.
Young has been sacked, Matt, 18 times in the last 4 games. That's not good if you're hurting.
It's not good if you're healthy either. It's going to make you hurt.
Long count by Chris Chandler. Jamal Anderson. There's the strength of Anderson. He brings it to the 21-yard line, a gain of 6.
Now I want you to watch the coverage. Remember, Shane Dronette worked inside, but here's the coverage down the field. Nice job right here on the top by Biscuit, Cornelius Bennett, and then down the field, they do a good job right here of taking away the quick throw, and then also right here, the safety is over the top. And because that happened, and they jumped their coverage early, Shane Dronette bull rushed inside, and Travis Hall made the sack.
Worked just as they drew it up. 2nd down and 4. Chandler looking to throw, gets a rush. The screen pass to Bob Christian. And the fullback gets the 1st down with a great bit of running as he carried Lee Woodall with him and a pickup of 11.
It's the best I've ever seen Bob Christian play. I think the last month, he's elevated his game to a point where you have to consider him a weapon all the time. He blocks extremely well. He catches the ball well, and this is something he hadn't done before. He's very patient now in the passing game. Last week against the New England Patriots.
Illegal contact, 21 defense, penalty decline, 1st down.
That's RW McCorders outside, but last weekend against the Patriots, they opened the game with a screen to Bob Christian. They went right down the field, and they gave him the big play, and he's been playing at as high a level as I've ever seen him play.
That was a 40-yard gain, and Jamal Anderson will give him the credit before anyone else. Double tight end. From the 32, Anderson, maybe a yard.
They're very content to just stay with this game. Put the ball into the hands of Jamal Anderson and let their offensive line keep working and let them pound the football. Because inevitably, San Francisco is going to have to take a chance. Now, they've been walking Tim McDonald up a bunch, and he's in and out. And when that does, you have 8 men up there, that means McQuarters is out there all by himself, and that's when you take your shot.
Still have not taken their shot on the rookie. 2nd and 9. Hard count by Chandler. The slant pass complete to Tony Martin and a first down. So Martin, who's had trouble holding on to a few today, tackled by R.W. McQuarters and a gain of 13 yards to the 46.
And they're walking up their safety inside, so McQuarters, this is a zone blitz. McQuarters is staying back in his zone, and he's given the cushion. They walk up Tim McDonald. They're going to see him. He's going to walk up right down here. Then they're going to drop out their defensive lineman. And because of that big cushion on the backside, he's able to pick it up, see it, and the ball comes out.
Jamal Anderson doing a good job of blocking against Tim McDonald. First down and a play action. Here is Norton. Chandler gets away. He's going deep for Martin. And it's incomplete. There was some shoving going on downfield. R.W. McQuarters was there, and a holding penalty is upcoming against the Falcons.
Tony Martin was lucky also at the end of that play. He gave Walker a push to try to get separation.
Holding. Offense number 61. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's Robbie Tobeck, the center.
Or Robert Tobeck.
Well, he wants to be Robert. Yeah, but just going to be Robbie. Not until he gets some facial hair will I say he's a Robert. That's kind of like the adult thing, right?
Got to earn it, Robert.
That's right. That's like our producer, Richard Giants. He's still Richie until he grows a mustache.
I don't think you're going to see that. First down and 20 following the penalty. Back to the 36. Jamal Anderson in motion. He split to the right. Chandler, another screen pass to Christian, has a couple of blockers. Bob Christian rumbles into 49er territory. Tackled by Ken Norton Jr., but not before he chalks up 19 more yards.
That is very well conceived by Dan Reeves and his staff. They take Jamal Anderson and they run him outside and they stretch the field wide. And then you get Winfred Tubbs in the open field. Then you take your fullback and you stick him down inside with 2 big hogs, Tobeck and Williams in front of you. And then it's real simple. Just run where they're not. There's an extra shoe flopping around down there. Somebody lost.
Lost his right shoe. Yeah. Got it now. 2nd down and 1. From the 45 of the 49ers, Jamal Anderson, first down, Atlanta. Ball control. Every time Atlanta has managed to do anything offensively, it has been mostly with the ground game and a ball control offense.
And smart, short passing. It's not like they're going with big plays. Van Reeves is going with control. He likes to keep it close. He knows, he said it earlier, the longer this stays close, they have themselves a chance, and the advantage falls towards Atlanta.
First and 10 at the 42. Gary Downs, number 45, is coming in fullback, replacing Bob Christian. Play fake. Chandler faking one way, and the pass incomplete. Mathis, the intended receiver, and the flag is down.
And that's going to be on McQuarters. They did the double move, and McQuarters got the bump off the pump.
Now they're going after the rookie.
Yeah, well, and they're patient with it. I think this just plays into what we talked about earlier. Let them get comfortable.
Illegal contact. Defense number 36. 5-yard penalty.
This one goes against Burton Hanks, however.
Yeah, he's wrong. He's got the numbers wrong. You're going to watch it out here in Mathis. There's the bump. There it is.
Yeah.
See, that's what they're calling, because the official was right there, and the flag flopped right in front of him.
Should be McQuarters and not Hanks for the foul.
We talked about them getting them, of the Falcons, making the 49ers commit that safety up, and then you take your shot outside.
Falcons with a first down on the 37 of San Francisco. Another fake. Wide open Christian. Bob Christian Matt, they are really utilizing Bob Christian, who has not been that much of a force offensively until last week. Woodall on the tackle, a gain of 14.
What they're doing is George Sepchik, the offensive coordinator, and Dan Reeves, they are dissecting the 49er defense. And they're being very patient. That time they had their safeties in the 2 deep, their corners were off, they just ran it back underneath. It's real simple. You get them to react to what you're doing, and then you come back with against the weakness of the defense.
When you have a Jamal Anderson, that makes play action that much more effective. Pitch to Anderson. Dives to the 20-yard line. Short by about 7 yards. Darnell Walker forcing the play from cornerback. Clock running. We have 1:39. This has been a big siege. Now Brenton Buckner comes out. Buckner, number 99. And the defense has been on the field quite a while for the 49ers.
What a difference from the last time they played. The last time they played, the 49ers just abused them. I mean, in the second half, they were in coast mode. Right now, they're in survival mode.
Ball control and a big edge. Not so much in the number of plays, but in time for the Falcons. Second down and 7. Chandler incomplete, and it was McQuarters that they were going at. Tony Martin unable to get to that thing.
Really, it's been a quiet day. You know, Terrence Mathis had a quiet day. Really, it's been a quiet day in the passing game. And that's because of the patience that Reeves has shown towards his offense. It's not like they're ripping off huge hunks at any time. They're just kind of going with it today. Just letting Jamal Anderson get 2, get 3, Christian with a play.
Well, Mathis doesn't have a reception, and he caught 7 for 130, had his best day against the 49ers earlier, but look at those numbers, way down for the 2 wide receivers.
Martin dropped a couple, he'd catch them, would have been up.
3rd and 7 from the 20. Pump fake and a pass incomplete. O.J. Santiago, the intended receiver, and so Morton Anderson will come on to try a field goal.
That was a nice job of coverage down the field by R.W. McQuarters. He was looking up at Tony Martin to try to get him, but he had to pull off of it. Then he went back underneath to Santiago.
Oh, yeah, they're testing McQuarters, but McQuarters looks like he's equal to the task.
I like him. I think he's going to be pretty good. Doesn't have great speed, but he's physical, and he's learning it as he goes. He's a fast learner.
Morton Anderson will attempt a 37-yard field goal, his first attempt of the day. And Anderson's kick is good. And the Falcons have taken a 10-6 lead. They missed the 3rd down play. They get 3, and they lead with less than a minute to go in the 3rd. The Falcons leading the NFL in time of possession. Again, effective there. Those are Steve Young's numbers. And Jamal Anderson, who has scored the only touchdown of the game, going over the 1,000-yard mark rushing this season. And there is Brenton Buckner, who is on the cart being taken out. Injured, and a tough injury for the 49ers. They start from the 20-yard line, trailing 10-6. Steve Young puts it up, and it's intercepted. Ray Buchanan. Buchanan's still going.
Got a chance.
And he will.
Oh, man.
He almost lateraled the ball, thought better of it, and down at the 1-yard line in a spectacular play. He didn't get to the end zone, but he got close, Matt.
I would say he's pretty happy with that. That's not a good play by Steve Young. He just threw it up. They came with a blitz off the corner. William White came inside, and then the slot was being covered by a linebacker. Steve Young saw it. He just threw the ball up. That thing just hung in the air. Tried to get to Greg Clark. Buchanan was all over it. Then a nice job of running back, cutting back. And then watch the end. He tries to fake. He's going to give it a little bit of a pump right there. Went right back inside before old Gogan ate him.
So it's 1st and goal at the 1. Buchanan with his 4th interception of the year, 2nd against the 49ers. And the Falcons looking to take a big lead here the way this game is going. Chandler throws it away, could not find a receiver, and got a pass rush at that. 22 seconds remaining in the third, and a big turnover by the 49ers.
And Dick, you know, there's this part of football called transition game. You go from being a quarterback, then you go to being a defender, and you have to make the play. You don't want him to score, and he kind of, yeah, shouldn't I make it? You know, he's the one who bit on the fake by Buchanan for the lateral.
Second and goal at the 1-yard line. That was Young's 7th interception this season. 3 tight ends, and Jamal Anderson, nothing there.
Beautiful.
That was Winfred Tubbs with great penetration. And the time is going to run down. That will be the end of the third quarter. And the Falcons trying to get a touchdown to give them solid breathing room going into the fourth. That is the end of the third quarter with the score. The Falcons 10 and the 49ers 6. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Intercepting Steve Young toward the end of the third quarter. And the question is, can the Falcons take advantage of it with a touchdown? It'll be 3rd and goal at the 2 as we start the fourth quarter.
This is the real test for this offensive line if they can get movement, because the first 2 downs, they've been stuck by the defense of the 49ers. Oh, boy.
They go again on the running play. Jamal Anderson, touchdown. Off left tackle for his 2nd score of the game.
His mom got that dance down pretty good. Just power football, Dick, to the left side.
And his dad just wants to collect the football.
Pop don't care. Pop's going, yeah, I've seen this dance before.
Second touchdown by Jamal Anderson. Gives him 10 on the season. Rushing touchdowns. And Morton Anderson with the extra point is good. So a big turnover. Interception by Steve Young. And it was Ray Buchanan who set it up, and Jamal Anderson's touchdown giving the Falcons a 17-6 lead with 4 seconds gone by here in the fourth quarter. And he's going to give his dad a second souvenir.
This time's going to Mom. She's dancing more than he is. She said she's eating rice, and the 49, heck, she's giving him the,
you know what?
Cutting the old throat ski.
Zenobia has to come out of her shell a little bit
more. That's what I'm thinking. Right? Yeah, just calm, you know, she's got to be a little bit more animated. That's a nice job of that offensive line of coming off the ball on the left side. And just, you don't have to blow them off the ball, just stay on them. And then Jamal Anderson runs like his mom dances. Heck, they're going to score every time.
Hey, this family very close to Muhammad Ali. James was a security guard for Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, and countless celebrities and rock stars in Hollywood. And Jamal Anderson said, I learned how to act with the public. I saw the class way that a lot of these people acted, and I picked up that trait from them. Anderson kicking off into the end zone. Chuck Levy will take it, count it, and the Niners will start from the 20. Well, the task gets a lot more difficult now for the 49ers, Matt, trailing 17-6, considering the way that the Atlanta defense has played thus far today. And once again at stake, first place in the NFC West. A 49er win would have meant, if they come back a commanding lead, they would have swept Atlanta. But the Falcons looking to take over first place on their own and a split of the season series. 49ers first down from their 20. Plenty of time remaining. Garrison Hurst from nearby Lincolnton, Georgia, picks up about a yard, and Chuck Smith brings him down.
Now, I want you to watch the touchdown run on the left side of the offensive line, doing a good job, and then Steve Young on the right side. Nice job by Whitfield. They just pounded in, and then watch Steve Young on the end. He's disgusted. He knows it's disgusted because that was an errant throw by him. He misread part of the coverage.
2nd and 8. Young looking to put it up. Can't find a receiver. Loses the ball. It's a fumble. And Chuck Smith loses it himself. And it's a touchdown. Jesse Tuggle recovers for the touchdown.
They're pouring it on, Dick.
Maybe early in the 4th, but that may be the dagger for the Atlanta Falcons against the 49ers.
And what got the play was the coverage down the field. Young had no place to throw the football.
And it looked like Shane Dronette forced the fumble. Chuck Smith had a chance to grab it. It rolled into the end zone, and ultimately Jesse Tuggle picked it up, and that is the 5th defensive touchdown of the year for the Atlanta Falcons.
Kind of reminds me of the game I was watching last night. Tennessee and Arkansas. Yeah, when that poor kid dropped the ball when he was at the end of the game.
Well, Morton Anderson on for the extra point. And this game has taken a dramatic turn with 2 critical turnovers, resulting in 2 Atlanta touchdowns. And there it is. The chase for the loose ball, and number 58, Jesse Tuggle, winds up with it in the end zone.
It's incredibly close or your money back. By Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo. It works. And by the United States Marine Corps. The change is forever.
A crushing defensive display by the Atlanta Falcons. Late in the 3rd, getting a touchdown early and then another defensive touchdown. Their 5th of the year, 14 points to nothing. And we have only 1 minute gone by in this final quarter. Morton Anderson. It'll be a touchback, and the Niners will start from the 20, and everyone's pumped up now.
Well, they got the rush inside, but there was coverage here and coverage by the tight end. Well, look, they have the safety over the top. Steve Young's looking right here. Nothing to go. Looks inside, nothing there, and then comes the troops. The ball's flopping around, and then it's a free-for-all, one that Jesse Tuggle comes up and wins. And, you know, when this dirty bird thing gets going, even when the kickers do it, it's time to leave. Look at this. He gets fired up, and it's
like his style.
Holy smokes.
49ers from the 20-yard line. They have a long mountain to climb now, trailing 24-6. Jerry Rice makes the catch for a minimal gain. Randy Fuller, the nickel corner, is right there. Falcons with 5 defensive touchdowns this season, the most in 7 years. They had one last week against the New England Patriots, and it's been a trademark for this team, known really strictly for their offense coming into this year. 2nd down and 7. Here's Garrison Hurst, and he's tackled by Henry Crockett after a gain of about 7.
You know, a lot of times Henry Crockett makes that. There's a nice collision inside between Edwards, the fullback, 44, and Jesse Tuggle. Jesse Tuggle's not the biggest guy, but he's explosive. Watch how he sinks his hips and attacks this. Bang, right inside. Jacks him right up at the line of scrimmage, and then Henry Crockett can come in and make the play. Long shoulder, he took it on with, but it was effective.
3rd down and 3. Young with a short pass to Greg Clark, the tight end. 1st down to the 35-yard line. And that's been the style for Steve Young today. It was one 35-yard pass to Rice that was called back because of offsetting penalties. And basically the big play hasn't been there for the 49ers.
No, they've not pushed the ball down the field. In my opinion, the best personnel grouping that the 49ers have is when they have the 3 wide receivers on the field. Now Stokes is out. Clark is on, and they put Garrison Hurst down here.
1st down. Young trying to get away from the rush. And finally gets rid of it. That was a figure 8. We've seen that in figure skating.
I've seen that with Curly. On a plumbing we will go.
Was that the episode?
Was the same thing, yeah. Watch Steve Young. He's looking down the field.
It's a curve. Oh, Larry, jeez.
Do you love these?
But you have to love the fact that there's no place to go with the ball. Now, if he'd have dropped to the ground and spun in a circle, I would have gone down there and kissed him.
Because it was a curly moment?
Oh, absolutely.
2nd and 10. Young's got to be a little tired after that. He's got Rice, drops the ball. Jerry Rice, whose numbers aren't bad today, but dropped a touchdown pass in the first half, and that could be one of the turning points that the 49ers may look upon, and drops another one here. That was their best chance of scoring a touchdown today. All they've got to show for their offense, 2 field goals in the red zone.
They don't look like the same 49ers. Their offensive line has been stuffed at the line of scrimmage for the most part. Ray Buchanan's turned himself in a nice game, as has Booker and Fuller.
This is an underrated team, maybe no more, the Falcons. 3rd and 10. And this catch, J.J. Stokes and Booker trying to prevent the first down. Can't do it, as the 49ers, with J.J. Stokes' reach, getting enough for the first.
Stafford getting up slow. Tim Hanshaw's coming in for him.
Now, we said going in, this was the healthiest the 49ers offensive line had been in quite a while, with Chris Dahlman returning at center, but now they're banged up apparently.
Well, Dave Fiore practiced this past week and has a chance to come back this week coming.
They'll take all the help they can get. We'll be right back. NFC East, Cowboys lead the improved Arizona Cardinals by a game.
Jake Plummer and Troy Aikman have got to play their best. I think the advantage goes to Aikman because of Emmitt Smith's running and their offensive line picking it up.
First down for the 49ers, and the pass to Jerry Rice incomplete.
They're out of sync, Dick. This 49er offense isn't even close to what we remember. There's something missing. It's not timing. They've had that at times. They're lacking the play push down the field. And then I also believe, and this is probably the biggest part, their offensive line is getting handled up front in the running game, and that's not opening anything else up. And at this point, down by 18, they've got to close.
Jamie Brown has replaced Kirk Strafford at right tackle. 2nd and 10. Young, and that was J.J. Stokes, incomplete.
Did I mention that they're dropping balls?
Out of sync covers a multitude of sins.
Boy, it sure does.
And a tough, frustrating afternoon for Steve Mariucci, whose 49ers could find themselves a game out of first place. And also keep in mind that down the line, division records are important. The Falcons would be 5-1. 49ers to 4-1 if Atlanta holds on and wins. 3rd down and 10. Young going up the middle, and it's Terrell Owens who makes the catch, still on his feet. And Owens will score as 2 defenders fall down for Atlanta.
Oh, see what Terrell Owens did. Terrell Owens gave the dirty bird back, and then also did the old cut sign.
As we saw from Zenobia.
Just like Mom did, yeah.
54 yards.
That's what they've been lacking, Dick. They just got done saying it, and there it is. Terrell Owens is big and fast and physical. And to me, I think they have to get the ball in his hands a lot more, because he can do this. See, he can run and throw guys around after the catch. Now watch him at the end. There's your dirty bird. And that's for you, Mom.
All right, there's an answer to that. That is his 7th touchdown of the year, and the 49ers will be going for 2 here, as a good catch made by Owens, just a few inches or a foot off the ground. And now as they go for the 2-point conversion, trailing 24-12. Take that. So here's the 2-point conversion attempt coming up for the 49ers. Young looking, and he's not going to get there. Pushed out of bounds by Jesse Tuggle, who scored the last touchdown for the Falcons. And the score remains the Falcons 24, the 49ers 12. We'll be back to the Georgia Dome in just a minute. minute, 16 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The 49ers scoring on a 54-yard touchdown pass from Steve Young to Terrell Owens, but then unable to connect on the two-point conversion. Young leading the NFL with his 22nd touchdown pass, an 80-yard drive to Owens. 49ers trailing the Falcons 24-12 as Wade Ritchie kicking off, and a deep kickoff out of the end zone where the Falcons start from their 20.
J.J. Stokes on the left and Terrell Owens on the right. To me, the key to this play is the play of Booker and Fuller, because they get their hands on the receivers. And then Young starts coming, and as Young comes across, see, it's too late. He can't go back this way because he's right in front of him. And then Jesse Tuggle can flat out run, and he beats him to the corner. Rich Brooks, their defensive coordinator, he's called himself a nice game because the defensive line has gotten their job really complete.
A huge game by the defense by the Falcons thus far. There is Chris Chandler to Brian Kozlowski, the tight end out of the backfield, or pass to the tight end, and a gain of 7 yards with Tim McDonald making the tackle. And that replay we saw, of course, was on the two-point conversion attempt by San Francisco. Well, they're the heroes. They're the offensive linemen. There's Travis Hall,
Lester Archambault, Shane Dronette. There's Burrows right there. There's Sway to 93.
And a team effort up front. But still 10.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Second down and 3. Jamal Anderson up the middle, first down to the 32-yard line, and you can expect a big dose of Jamal Anderson in ball control here in the fourth quarter.
And also of Chandler keeping his eyes on that 40-second clock and letting that thing run down as much as he can. That's just being aware of a quarterback, and just, you got your play, you know you're going to run it. Just keep your eyes on that clock and let it run down. Waste as much time as you can.
Going to give a hospital report here. Chris Dolman out with an injured left knee, questionable as to whether he'll be back. Kurt Sprafford, the right tackle, has a right ankle injury, and he's questionable.
Here's the play clock. He's letting it go all the way down under 5.
They're on the 32-yard line, first down. Jamal Anderson eats up some time and gets about 5 yards in the process.
We've let it get down to 1 second. That's cutting it close.
By the way, Brenson Buckner has a high ankle sprain. He was the first injury. And there you see Chris Dolman leaving the field. He's a native of Atlanta, going to the dressing room. Gabe Wilkins has replaced him.
Look at his eyes right here. See, he is watching that clock the whole time. That's outstanding. It's as good as it gets, as watching that clock.
Second down and 5 at the 37 of Atlanta.
He's looking now at that play clock.
Nothing fancy. And that could be another first down for Jamal Anderson. Tubbs on the stop. Very close to it.
You know, Dick, part of Chris Chandler's maturity, ascension, whatever you want to call it, has come from two people. Jerry Rome, his former offensive coordinator, and also his father-in-law, John Brody. John Brody, former 49er quarterback, has helped him a lot. He says he's given him really a belief in himself because he makes him believe in himself.
Gives him a lot of pep talks. Now, John Brody couldn't be here because he's in a qualifying golf tournament. He's one of the fine senior golfers on the tour. There you see the first down by the Atlanta Falcons. And another man he mentioned, Steve DeBerg, the backup quarterback.
Yeah, he says he relies on Steve DeBerg's eyes on the sideline to see things that he doesn't normally see. He says really in the running game, you can see how the coverages are, and it's great to have an extra set of eyes and a guy you can trust, and DeBerg is his guy. Really basically a player coach. DeBerg,
as well as Earl Morrow and Chris Chandler, started for 6 different NFL teams. First down for the Falcons on the 42. They let the clock run down to 5 seconds on the play clock, and a pass caught by Tony Martin and stays in bounds into 49er territory and very near the sticks again.
Didn't get a big dose of that today. I expect a little bit more working against Tony Martin on R.W. McQuarters. They helped McQuarters early. They kept the safety over the top to help them. And now, as this game has gone on, and they're basically ramming the ball down their throats, you got to start committing somebody up front. That's leaving them alone outside.
Well, the 49ers need 2 scores to pull this one out. It'll be 2nd down and 1 in 49er territory. And it's Jamal Anderson, and he didn't get it. And that was Junior Bryant who stuffed him, and a loss of about a half a yard to a yard. It'll be 3rd and short. And slowly getting up is Junior Bryant.
They're taking a beating all day today.
Yeah, with Buckner, Dolman, Scrappard. Here's Dolman coming back to the dome. And he's can't get up. They're going to take a timeout. Injury to Junior Bryant. We'll be right back. Junior Bryant injured, came out of the game. 49ers thought of putting in an offensive guard, Tim Hanshaw. Then they selected Jeff Posey, number 96. Chris Dolman is back in the game after going to the dressing room. There is Posey.
There's Posey. Now Posey only weighs about like 235, 240. I wanted to bring Hanshaw in to give him a little bit of size.
3rd down and 1 for the Falcons. Jamal Anderson, 1st down. And it takes several Niners to bring him down. Brian Young amongst them. Well, tonight, after a new World's Funniest, Homer's Gone Hippie on a far-out new Simpsons, and then make a date at the drive-in on a brand-new That 70s Show. Plus, it's the 2nd all-new X-Files episode of the season. That should be a good one. It all starts tonight at 7, 6 Central, right here on Fox.
Hey, he's not playing. Jerry Glanville must have left tickets for Elvis. Because obviously Elvis is not playing in Kansas City. He's here watching this game.
And enjoying it if he's a Falcon fan. 1st down at the 46 of the 49ers. Jamal Anderson picks up about 5 yards on the play. Anderson had fumbled early in the game, but the 49ers could not take advantage of it. And in a game in which the concern for the Falcons was not to let the 49ers get a lead and take the crowd out of the game, it didn't happen that way today. The 49ers couldn't jump out in front.
I think the Atlanta defense played very well.
Yep.
I think they deserve a pat in the back. And then I think Art Shell, the offensive line coach of this Atlanta Falcon offensive line, deserves a lot of credit because this group has come a long way.
2nd and 6 as we wind down close to the 5-minute mark. Jamal Anderson, not much there. 2 turnovers today by the 49ers, both resulting in touchdowns for the Falcons, and 4 sacks. But the pressure put on against Steve Young. So it has been a game sparked by the defense for the Atlanta Falcons today.
You know, at the start of the game, we mentioned how Junior Bryant and Bryant Young ate up the middle of that offensive line. And the key was, one of the keys was going to be how far this line had come from week 3. And I think the answer is very obvious today. I think they've come a long way. And that step we talked about in the journey, they took a big step.
3rd and 4 at the 40-yard line of San Francisco. Chandler looking to put it up. Down he goes. He wasn't going to risk the pass. And Jeff Posey coming in and making the sack. That's the 3rd of the game by the 49ers. And it will bring up 4th down.
And that was good coverage. There was no place to throw for Chandler. I mean, he held that thing and pumped it a couple times, but nowhere to throw, and then Posey makes the play.
Junior Bryant suffered a bruised thigh, and so that's another one of the injuries. And the 49ers using the timeout to stop the clock with 4:22 on the 4th. And it's been an emotional day and a big day for the Atlanta Falcons all the way around.
Anytime you can have a game like this that means this much, and emotion plays a part, makes it that much bigger. And then it's at home, and it's your underdog team, and you got a lot of plays and dancing going on. I think that's what makes this game great.
And had the Falcons lost, they wouldn't have gone down the drain. They would have had a real good record of 7-3, probably making the playoffs anyway. But this, you'd have to say, a pivotal game in Atlanta Falcon franchise recent history.
And let me say this, Dick. 4:20 to go. They're down by 2 touchdowns. San Francisco can still win this football game.
Sure,
It's not even close.
With that explosiveness, they can.
But the key is they haven't showed that explosiveness today.
Dan Straczynski with the kick, and a coffin corner kick taken by McQuarters, and he's buried at the 15 by Craig Sauer, who has made 2 fine special teams tackles today. Again, the second half of our Fox doubleheader, and first place at stake, or at least a share of it, Cowboys and Cardinals. Dallas with a 1-game lead over Arizona. Troy Aikman, the veteran, against Jake Plummer, the youngster, trying to make a name for himself. That's coming up next. Some of you will see the Packers and the Giants. Buccaneers and Jaguars also on tap.
Now you really see how good Brett Favre is. He's going to have to be one-dimensional to win that game.
Steve Young, flush back, directing traffic, and the pass, and that's caught at the 30 by Terrell Owens.
It's hurry-up offense again. When Young is directing everything from the line of scrimmage, it limits the coverage you can play by your secondary, but Young can run the whole offense.
Steve Young going underneath to Mark Edwards, and he's tackled at the 35-yard line. The 49ers with 2 timeouts remaining, needing 2 scores to pull this game out. And if any team has done it, you know, the 49ers have rallied this year on several occasions to come from behind to win. 2nd and 5. Young going up top for Jerry Rice, and Jerry Rice will score. William White.
There's a fish hook in his mouth. Hey, he bit like a bandit.
They're going for 1. That's what Steve Mariucci says. So with 3:09 to go, all of a sudden the 49ers are doing what they have done several times this year, staging a rally.
Watch him to the outside. Buchanan gets the push. William White comes over. Looked like it was the way they play cover 2.
65 yards to Rice. That looked like warm-ups, the way he played pitch and catch with Steve Young on that one. And now they're going for the 1. It's 24-18 with 3:09 to go. Wade Ritchie, and the extra point is good, and the 49ers now trailing by 5, 24-19 with enough time to go.
Remember, I told you that the 49ers can run their whole offense because Steve Young has it down. And then defensively, it limits you. And here's your 2 up top. Ray Buchanan's got to get a jam on him and force him wide. Now, that's a hard throw for the quarterback all the way out here, but it's also a long way for William White to go. He gets up, he gets his jam, he forces him wide. And right here, the problem was that William White took a bad angle. He took the angle. Jerry Rice ran right by the angle, and he walked in. Steve Young knew where he wanted to go, just stepped him through. And that's the part of this offense that has been missing all day long.
The big plays. Rice 65 yards for a score. A little while ago, Terrell Owens caught one for 54 yards and a touchdown. So right now, the Falcons have answered some questions today. Can they not be intimidated by the 49ers, let them get out early? The question is now, can they withstand a late offensive flurry by San Francisco?
Yeah, and this is why San Francisco is San Francisco, because they have that heart. You can do a lot of things wrong. It's not how you start, Dick. It's always how you finish.
Jerry Rice has caught 17 passes in 2 games against Atlanta. This kick will go deep, and the Falcons will start from the 20 with 3:08 showing on the clock. 49ers have 2 timeouts remaining, and they may have to use them on defense here. Well, again, we started the day with the standings, and this is what they're playing for. Undisputed possession of first place in the NFC West for the winner of this game.
Now they're going to have to watch the clock, both sides, obviously. San Francisco can stop the clock 3 times.
2-minute warning and 2 timeouts.
You got it. And so they've got to stuff them right here. Actually, If they get it to under 2 minutes, the way Young can run that 2-minute offense, they're in good shape.
Falcons have never trailed in this game. Two tight ends starting from the 20. Jamal Anderson. Brian Young on the tackle and a gain of about a yard. This critical drop by Jerry Rice would have been a touchdown for the 49ers in the first half, but he made this play.
Just ran right by the coverage, nothing there. Rice just walks in.
And a timeout called by the 49ers. They'll have one timeout remaining and the 2-minute warning. 3:01 showing on the clock.
See, when you boil this thing down today, Dick, 49ers, the Falcons have played very well. The offensive line's played well. I think they've done some good things in coverage. They blew that last coverage, but the bottom line is San Francisco really has beaten themselves.
Well, they didn't, you know, their trademark is the big play, and they didn't get it going till it was too late.
They're not the same team. I mean, they're not. It's just, they're going to have to play their absolute best every week to win, because they're not what they were a few years ago.
And it's interesting that in Garrison Hurst, they probably have the best running back they've had in quite a while.
Yeah, since Ricky Waters. That team they had in '94, and they were at the top of their game all the way around, from the offensive line, the running backs, the wide receivers, the tight end.
Second down and 8. Jamal Anderson, who's carried 31 times. He's got exactly 100 yards right now. And this is a play fake. And Chandler is going deep. And the pass is caught. And it's Terrence Mathis down the sideline. Touchdown, Atlanta. 78 yards.
You knew it was coming sooner or later, Dick.
And that was his first catch of the game, Matt. What a great call.
They talked about it on the pregame show. Howie, Terry, and Chris, they all mentioned the rookie, R.W. McQuarters, and how they were going to have to go after him. Terrence Mathis, good coverage. I mean, that is not bad coverage. He just kind of basically tripped at the end, but that's when you have to make a play. They made the play.
78 yards, and that is the longest pass play by the Falcons this year. And the first catch of the game for Terrence Mathis was a beauty, and it finally puts the nail in the 49ers coffin, but it wasn't easy after all. Morton Anderson adds the exclamation point, and the Falcons lead 31-19.
Good job, the offensive line. They sell the play action, and then this ball could not have been thrown, but watch the end. Nice adjustment by Terrence Mathis. I mean, that's an excellent adjustment. And then just staying with it. Now, here's the other side to this play, Dick. Yes, they are down by 12. But you basically, at around the 3-minute mark, 2:50, another big play, and they're right back, because there's still enough time for San Francisco to get in there.
Well, we have had 5 touchdowns in the fourth quarter so far. After we remarked what kind of a low-scoring game this was, it was only 7-3 at the half, but 5 TDs here in the final quarter, and Chris Chandler throwing a strike, and a great call, because you know the 49ers were figuring on run. But McQuarters beaten by Mathis, 1-on-1. The Falcons have thrown at the rookie R.W. McQuarters, starting at quarterback today, and completed 5, and the last one, of course, for the touchdown, 78 yards to Mathis.
He's going to be all right, McQuarters. He didn't play badly today. That coverage wasn't bad. He kind of tripped at one point.
And Chuck Levy will run it out from 6 yards in the end zone and dives to the 15-yard line. Well, the last year the Falcons made the playoffs was 1995. They needed a win over the 49ers right here, and they got it. 28-27, and Terrence Mathis' 37-yard touchdown catch with just under 2 minutes left provided the difference. And the Falcons won a one-point game then. A little more cushion here, and Mathis figures in a big win over the 49ers if Atlanta can hold on again.
One catch. I think he'd take that day.
Any day. From the 15, Steve Young's pass underneath to Kirby. Terry Kirby is driven down. 2.5 minutes remaining, and the celebration is starting here in Atlanta.
Falcons are not going to take any chances now, Dick. They're going to rush 3 and play 3 guys deep and have 5 underneath. That way they can get their hands on the receivers so they don't have a free run right here, and they still have 3 guys on top.
2nd down and 8, approaching the 2-minute warning. And Young's pass, and it's caught. Great catch by Jerry Rice with Ray Buchanan all over him. And the 2-minute warning is here, so a 22-yard gain. 49ers have only 1 timeout left. Their clock is the enemy, no question about it. We'll be returned with the Falcons leading 31-19.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL that's everywhere you want to be.
I haven't even started my shopping.
1:55 on the clock. 1 timeout remaining for the 49ers.
Jerry Rice has been the man Steve Young has been going to all day with regularity. Right now, I believe, you can see he fell down. Ray Buchanan had a shot. I would just match up Jerry Rice and zone around him. Make him find somebody else.
2nd and 10 from the 49ers 39-yard line. Steve Young gets away from Chuck Smith and finally runs out of bounds. That'll bring up a 3rd down and long with 1:47 to go.
He wanted to find Terrell Owens outside. Nice job by Elijah Williams. Then they just force him down inside in the zone. And then to the other side, J.J. Stokes is going to be working on Michael Booker, but that's taken away. And then when that wasn't there, they wanted to come back to Jerry Rice underneath, but Fuller did a good job, and really it would only been a 2-yard gain. And heck, Steve Young could see that. He figured, I can stop the clock and get out all by myself.
3rd down and 7. Mark Harris is in. They have 4 wide receivers for Young from the 42-yard line, and the pass underneath to Terry Kirby. And Kirby may be shy of the 1st down, but the 49ers still have another down to get it. Randy Fuller made the tackle, but the clock runs. Close to a minute and a half to go. In the 4th quarter, it'll be 4th down and a yard.
This coverage, you have to get your hands on the receivers right now.
And the pass tipped away. And it was number 29, Randy Fuller, who broke it up, and the Falcons take over on down.
They did it right. Jumped their coverage, got their hands on the receivers. The 49ers were going to try to buy time with Steve Young's feet by rolling him top side, but I believe he was a little impatient with it.
And the happy, joyous Atlanta Falcons bench, Dan Reeves, deservedly all smiles, and the Atlanta Falcons stopping the 49ers for good on this 4th down try. And it was Randy Fuller who knocked the ball away. They're going to adjust the game clock, but now it's all academic. So the Atlanta Falcons, seeing the 49ers come back with a couple of big pass plays to Terrell Owens and Jerry Rice, trailing by 5. But a great call by Dan Reeves. Just when you think the Falcons are only going to run it, Terrence Mathis on the receiving end to break open the game.
There's Billy White Shoes Johnson right there. And Dan Reeves getting hugs and kisses from everybody.
Well, we want to thank some people. Terrific game here in Atlanta. Today's game produced by Richard Zients and directed by Artie Kempner. The associate director, Greg Scopatoni. The broadcast associates, Clark Pierce and Adrian Hassenmeyer. The technical producer, Dean Walker, and his fine technical staff. The pregame show was produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The senior producer is Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And the Atlanta Falcons have cleared a major hurdle today. Best start in team history at 8-2, tying a team record with their 7th straight home win And the Falcons are all alone in first place in the NFC West for the first time after 10 games since 1980. And that was the year they won the NFC West Division title.
Dick, believe me, San Francisco is like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I'm not dead yet. They'll be back.
Right now, let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Thanks, Dick. Okay, Ray Buchanan, you had that key interception. Walk us through that play.
Big time play. We had a zone blitz going on, and at that particular time, we didn't want to play too aggressive on Jerry Rice. We knew if we played too aggressive on him that route might be open coming to the corner. Rich Brooks called a great play, and I was in on it, and I was proud of it, and I tried to get into the end zone, but sometimes, you know, things don't happen that way, and the Lord bless me.
If this was a statement game for the Atlanta Falcons, what was the statement?
This is a statement of getting respect. A lot of people didn't respect this football team. They tried to, you know, they gave us so many obstacles, but I think we overcame every last one of them, and we just proved to the world that we're a real football team.
All right, Ray, thanks a lot and congratulations. Let's go back upstairs to Jen.
All right, the Falcons now 8-2, the 49ers 7-3. Atlanta leads the division and will be back from the Georgia Dome after these messages. Out for the first time since 1995, and the Falcons responded with a victory. So for Matt Millen, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from the Georgia Dome. Falcons 31, 49ers 19. Stay tuned for Game 2 of our Fox NFL doubleheader after these messages.